What's up, YouTube? Okay, I have a funny story to tell. So, y'all know I'm in these big rigs, this big old 53-foot trailer on the back and all that good stuff. So, I'm trying to make a delivery to Boston, Massachusetts, right? To Boston. I make a wrong turn. So, I'm going through these tunnels that they have on the highway. So, I have two navigation systems going in. I have the Qualcomm, then I have a Rand McNally. Both of them go out and they freeze and they stop because there is no service. And I missed my turn. Lesson learned. I missed my turn. I end up in Winthrop, I don't know how they pronounce it, Winthrop, Massachusetts, which is like on the pier, the water, like I'm down going, I tried to U-turn and bust a U-turn and go back on the highway, but the clearance when I was gonna turn back was way too low for my truck. Like I would never have made it. So I couldn't do the U-turn to get right back on, so I had to go and travel. And I ended up in the city, and I ended up on these streets, and they're getting smaller and smaller, and I know they're not for trucks. So my first instinct was I wanted to cry like a little bitch. I'm like, I'm finna leave this truck right here. I'm gonna fucking cry like a little bitch, like be a little bitch right now. What movie was that? What movie was that from? But anyway, I was finna cry like a female, which I am. We're emotional. We cry about a lot of stuff. Whatever, I didn't. So I caught myself. I was like, real quick, I was just like, you know what? Call my dispatch. Dispatch couldn't tell me no, like, we can't help you, I'm sorry. Then I was like, you know, let me grab my little, motor carrier Atlas. And I was just like, I'm gonna just figure this out because I'm not gonna walk away from my truck and leave it here like that's just not the business that I do. I don't do business like that. So as I'm looking, this guy, like I put on my hazards to stop and look at this before I go any further into a mess that I could not get out of. Like I was gonna pull out my Atlas and I was gonna pull out Google Earth and just look at the streets from an aerial view and see what streets I could fit down and stuff like that. So this guy next to me, him and his wife was in the car, he driving, he's like, yo, what are you gonna do? Yo, what do you do? I'm like, hey, I'm new, chill, I got lost, I don't know what I'm doing right now, chill. So I don't have a problem with telling people I'm new out here. Like, you've all been through it. You've all been through something that you didn't know at one point, and all of a sudden you learn. So chill, I'm new, I'm just gonna sit here and try to figure it out. So this other guy, he's on a bike, he's walking his dog that looked like Lassie, and he came over to he was like, hey, down there trying to, so I rolled the window down, I'm like, hey, how you doing? He was like, you lost? I was like, yeah, I'm not supposed to be here. I said, yeah, you're not supposed to be here. So anyway, long story short, he was like, I'll help you. Let me go grab my phone, tell you how to get to where you're going. I used to be a truck driver too. Now I fly for JetBlue. Boom. So I go, he was like, first I'm gonna stop traffic so you can back up and go down the other street right there. That's what we did. Boom, backed up, went down the other street. And he was like, yeah, pull over right there, I'm gonna help you. So I pulled over. Dude and his wife, yo, Ed, what are you doing? So that guy, he comes back, he gets out of his truck, he gets out of his Explorer and walks up to my truck, was like, hey. I was like, yeah, I told you I'm new out there. He was like, yeah, I used to be a truck driver too for like 20 something years, 50 years I live here all my life. I can tell you how to get out of here. I just want to be nice to you today. Really? Okay, I'm all for you being nice to me today. Come on, be nice then. I'm down for nice people trying to help people out. So guy on the bike, Lassie and the dog, he came back. I was like, you know, he was like, yeah, I'll tell you how to get da-da-da. So I jumped out the truck and I went over there to talk to the old boy. And so they two, you know, they talked, yeah, I used to be a truck driver. Yeah, I used to be a truck driver too. Da-da-da-da. I know about all these trees. Da-da-da-da-da. Let me help you get out of here. So JetBlue pilot, like, yeah, okay, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna go da-da-da-da. So him, the guy who was ragging on me, reeked of alcohol. I don't even see how you driving this Explorer. Reeked of alcohol. You can see it in his face. He's a little tipsy there. He was like, yeah. So JetBlue was like, yeah, this guy here, he's going to get you where you need to go. He's going to get in his truck. You're going to follow him to where you need to go. Yeah, I'm going to direct you. And I'm going to drive you over here. And then when you go that, when I put my arm out and go that way, you go that way. And so he did that. He got me out. And I wrote down the directions that JetBlue pilot gave me. Just wrote them down just in case my navigations went out, which they did go out again because I had to go through the same tunnel. They went out again. Lesson learned. Have 3 navigations is the one thing. I'm gonna have my phone going because phones usually kind of work in the tunnels and stuff like that. Number 2, write down the directions turn by turn. So when these things blink red, look at that paper. If you can find out where on the paper you can look at real quick while you're in the tunnel. That's gonna be a challenge. If I had a fleet, that's something I would definitely teach my drivers. Like, this is stuff you just gotta learn out in the real world, that I can make the mistakes, you don't have to. I've learned already. You can learn from my mistakes. You ain't gotta make the same mistakes. But it was almost a nerve-wracking, almost a stressful experience. But I was like, you know what? What's the use of crying and stressing? Let me just figure this out and just prove to myself that I could do this, I can accomplish it. Because I'm quite sure I'm not the first person that got lost, turned down the wrong street, and got in some shitty situations. And I won't be the last. So I'm just not gonna go any further, and I'm just gonna stop right here, and I'm just figure this out. I'm just gonna figure this out. We're gonna make it. But yeah, I was stuck in Winthrop, Massachusetts. It was so pretty out there, so pretty. And where I'm at now in Boston is very pretty. Let me show y'all real quick. It's really, really pretty out here, actually. So yeah, I mean, that was my day. Now I'm on my way to New York. I'm on my way to Chester, New York to drop this. And then I think my dispatch trying to keep me out this way. He about to put me in Jersey. And I'm just like, challenges make me better though. Challenges make me better. I'll deal with it. But this is so funny to me, like, just this big truck, to see it somewhere where it ain't supposed to be in these little streets, and the towners looking like, oh yeah, they gotta be lost. That driver gotta be lost. Like, ain't no way. Like, what are you doing behind these little streets over here? Like, it was funny. It was funny after the fact. Then I get here and it's such a beautiful view on the pier. It's just so pretty out here. But anyway, I thought I'd share that story with y'all. It was so funny. Like, I was this close to fucking crying. Like, my eyes almost teared up. I could just feel the stress coming from the back of my eyes. Like, I'm about to bring out some tears, but I was like, you know what? That ain't gonna solve a damn thing. Let me figure this out. Just so happens I had some nice Bostoners to help me, or some Winthropers help me get out my situation, and I appreciate it. And yeah, I would have figured it out one way or the other. I'm just too determined. I can't. I'm too determined. I like these challenges. Anyway, alright, I'll talk to y'all later. Love,